Okay, folks, we're back, and we're going to try and see if we can't help out our buddy Dustin. Okay, he was wanting to know on my yellow 55 how I did my roll bars, and he is wanting to do a pro street of his 72. But he's wanting to know how the roll bars come out the back windows. All right, first we're going to get into how I build my roll bars. What I do is I take accurate measurements of saying this is my interior tub. What I need to know is how tall I am. So I draw my baseline, and then I measure from point A to top right there. That's where the back window is going to be. So that when I stick it in here, I am measuring from the base here to that bottom of that window right there. See how it's fitted up right there? Okay. So this is my measurement right here from the bottom of the window to the bottom of the cab. And then this portion is from the top of the window to the bottom of the window, going here to there. So if I put it in there, you'll see that's that measurement right there, from here to there. Then I add these two measurements up. I pull an overall with my calipers. I'll set it right there, and I will push it all the way down until I bottom out right there. So that was giving me a number of 1904. So I add these two numbers up over here, and then subtract the 1094 from that. That gave me the difference of what that little piece is from the inside to there. Now, because I've got a note on here, it says to the top of the cab. That means to the top of the cab on the inside, not the top of the cab on the outside. So, all right. Then I take my cab, I measure my distance on the inside. So that gives me well, from the back, not from the front, of where my roll bar is going to be. I'll measure from there to there. And then I'll probably subtract just a little bit just to give me a little wiggle room. So then I get my template drawn out. Now this one's a little bit different design from this one. It's just, you design it however you want to. As long as you've got the room to make it fit, then you're good. You can make it a one piece, you can make it two pieces, or whatever. But this is the donor. This is an old Pro Stocker that I'm gonna cut up and I'm gonna use for this truck. So measuring that frame right there, it's about 63 thousandths, and that's pretty accurate. Everything I've looked at online for interior roll bars now, they've all gone with about 1.5 inches, 1 5/8, somewhere right in there. So I'm using number 222 from Evergreen. It is an 062, and that's about dead nuts perfect. So now you can go through your scrap box and you can find other roll bars if you've got them. as long as they'll fit in, you know, you use what you've got. But me, I wanted to make some, so because this one's a little bit thick, it's not to scale. I think this is like 90 thousandths right here. So anyway, what I do is I get everything drawn out. Then I take my piece of styrene, my 2 points right there. I'll divide them up, get my center line. Got a center line here, and then my line coming across that back window. Then I will, I'll put me a mark. I will make a mark right there. That will be my center line. So I will start bending from here. And then I'll put a mark over here. And then I'll put a mark over here. Now I'm just using a little scrap piece just for demonstration purposes. I know when I get this thing bent, you're going to say, oh, that don't look like a roll bar. It's too short. But yeah, all you're going to do is, what I do is I slowly start bending it. Don't get all freaky and hulk it out, because then you'll snap it. And you can feel this thing starting to move. And I try to keep that line right smack dab in the middle. So if I feel my thumbnail starting to wander to one side, I can come back and correct it with the other. Or I've got a little pair of round pliers that I can use. I think they use it in jewelry making. But sometimes I find that when using those, it'll crimp it too hard, and you'll put a flat spot in it. So I just keep working it back and forth. Just keep working it. And I'll come back and I'll check it. All right, there I'm on my center line. How do I look? Okay, I need to come in some more, don't I? All right. So I'll just keep on working. Like I said, this is for fun. We're not in a race. I don't have to do it by tomorrow. It's all about fun and doing something yourself. Now, y'all, sometimes you're going to see my hand shaking. That's from my diabetes. So sometimes I just have to stop and take a break and go do something else till my sugar straightens out. Okay, that's looking pretty good right there. So now we're going to start over here on this side. And I want to pinch it right there where the line is. And then just slowly start working. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. Just slowly working it. Then I'll come over here and I'll pinch it on this side. Slowly start working it. Now you can get all the twist out of it later. I'll show you how to do that. So yeah, this piece of styrene, it represents about 1.5 inch tubing. And that'll look really good. It'll look to scale. Okay. You're just gonna keep on working. Keep on working. Okay, we don't want to break it. So we want to check it again. Okay, that's looking pretty good. It needs to come in on this side just a little bit. So we'll just massage her on in till we get her. And like I said, we can get the twist out of it later. All right, now I just want to get my bend points correct. Okay, I'm on the line there, and that's looking good. Okay, now you can see this, it's got a little twist in it. This side is setting up higher, and that's flat. So we're just going to take it, we're going to push down on it. Okay, a little bit more. We'll push it a little bit more. Now it's going to have a little flex in it. Once we start putting the cross pieces in, it'll straighten out. She'll come on. All right, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put a little pressure up here. Okay. All right. Give her a little roll. Roll it out just a little bit. Have to keep kind of playing with it a little bit. Looking down the side there. I'll look down the side, see which way. Gotta twist this way a little bit. There we go. That's her. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here and put a mark right there. And I'm going to put a mark right there. I mean, you don't have to be dead nut perfect, but it's, you get the idea. Then I come in over here and I'll slowly start working it. Okay. But yeah, once you're trying to get the bends put in it just right, you're gonna get twist and warpage, but that's easy to straighten out. Okay, I'm going in just a little too far. That's because I got such a short piece right there. Normally I'd have it longer. Come over there and give it a little pinch, and it should straighten right out. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. All right, now see what I'm talking about there. There we go. Now I'm gonna just take this piece and I'm gonna bend it and pull her on around. Now once all this is done, you can put as many cross pieces in it as you want, or it's your model, do it your way. But my buddy here, Dustin, he just he needed a little help on trying to design that. Now, see, you get the picture. And what I do is I usually come over here and I leave it a little long because I know this is the base, my base right here. It's that bottom part right there. So usually what I'll do is when I drill my holes, I'll leave it sticking out just a little bit long. That way, if it does have a little bit of if it twists up a little bit, or if it twists this way or that way, I'll have a little room to kind of tweak it a little bit. And then once I have all my cross pieces in and everything's braced off solid, then I'll come back and once it's glued into place, I'll trim it and sand it flat. So that's how I do my framing. Now, as you can see, I've got one built right here. It's just for demonstration purposes only, is it? It's not anything exact. And I put because of this 55 right here, the way this window is designed, I wanted to go ahead, since I am going to be drilling out the back through the back glass or whatever, I'm not going to actually use the back glass. Most pro stockers or pro streeters, whatever, they'll take this part out and they'll put in plexiglass. And so to simulate the plexiglass, I've got this evergreen clear styrene. It's a 10,000th thick or 0.25 millimeter. So yeah, it's what you'll do is take you a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard, stick it up in here, trace your outline, and then transfer that over onto your paper, and then onto your plastic, and then you just so what I've decided to do, I was thinking of two ways to do it. I was either going to drill a hole in the roof and have the bars come out through the roof. Then I decided, no, I'm going to do the plexiglass version, and I'm going to have these as my mounting points. Now, yeah, I could probably go up a little higher. I like the way that looked. Like I said, it's your model. You build it however you want to. That's because usually when people see little tidbits or something different, it catches their eye. Then they'll start asking questions. So, but yeah, I've got my bottom bar right here. And this is going to allow me to attach my seatbelt hardware to that bar. And then these are I took my center line and I divided up equally on each side of where I wanted that bar to come. So yeah, I'll drill a small, a tiny hole into the plexiglass, or just to get it going. And then I'll gradually step up my drill bits until I get to 62 thousandths. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but once I have the other frame, I'm gonna shove that big behemoth in there. But yeah, we're gonna be going something like this. And then we're gonna have the down tubes coming out, say like right there. We're gonna have one attached right there. So that's gonna look pretty awesome. I may even have it come down and wrap around. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, I wanted to give my buddy Dustin there a heads up, and I don't know if this might help you or not, but I didn't have a 72 truck but But I told you we would go through this thing together. And he's got my email, and we've been emailing each other back and forth. So if he needs more specifics on this, then I'll be glad to and happy to touch on it. Because really, folks, that's what we're here for. I've been blessed in this hobby to have good friends, and I didn't always start out with a lot of stuff, and just accumulated it over the years. And the knowledge I've gained, and things like that, I want to pass it along, and I want to help other people that are kind of struggling. I may not be the best at it, and if he can find somebody else that can do a better job at it, by all means, go for it. I mean, that's because, like I said, I'm not the best at this, but I am willing to help the guy. So, all right, folks. Until next time, y'all take care, and happy model building. It's all about the fun. One other thing I wanted to touch on too. Whenever I do start putting my cross pieces in right here, I like to use this stuff right here, the plastic weld. And I think there used to be something called 10X 7R. Now that was some good stuff too. But use a little small brush, because this stuff is like water. You don't want it going all over the place. Just use a little tiny brush and just dab it, and it'll set up. You may have to give it a minute. So, like I said, don't rush. That's the main thing. Don't rush. Don't feel like you have to be in a hurry. Allow things to do what they need to do to cure. So come back tomorrow, whatever. So, all right, folks, I'm gonna sign off. Like I told you before, I'm really not feeling that well. A little under the weather. So I did want to touch on this subject right quick. So, all right, folks, y'all take care. Peace out.